I don't remember being born, of course, but I sometimes think my first breath was a question mark. My earliest memory is a blur of warm hands and hushed voices, a soft hum that was Mama. But even then, there was a space beside her, a space that felt empty. Not empty in the way a pot is empty before it's filled, but empty like a missing tooth, leaving a gap where something should have been. They say every child has their father's eyes, or his laugh, or the stubborn set of his chin. For me, it was a lottery. Every man who walked through our door, each new uncle or friend of the family who stayed a little longer, was a mirror I held to myself. Is it him? Am I finally seeing myself in someone else's face? Whenever a new man sat at our small wooden table, my eyes would turn into microscopes. I'd watch the way Uncle Dennis held his spoon. Was that why I held mine with my left hand? I'd study the way Uncle Mark cleared his throat before speaking. Was that the origin of the scratchy sound in my own chest? I was a scavenger, picking through the scraps of these men's habits, trying to build a father out of spare parts, but the mirrors were always swapped. I remember Uncle Sam. He was a tall, charcoal-skinned man with a gap between his front teeth. For 3 months, I practiced smiling in the mirror, trying to force a gap to open between my own teeth. I wanted to be his miniature. I started mimicking his deep, rolling gait, walking as if the ground owed me something. But then, Mama and he had a night of shouting that broke the ceramic water pitcher, and by morning, the gap-toothed man was a ghost. I went back to the mirror and hated my teeth for being straight. I felt like a traitor to a man who didn't even want to stay. The lottery meant I never knew which version of Kofi to be. In the complete families next door, the boys had a blueprint. If their father was a carpenter, they knew the smell of sawdust was their inheritance. If their father was a teacher, they knew books were their birthright. However, in my house, the blueprint changed every season. With the soldier, I had to be a statue, silent, disciplined, invisible. With the merchant, I had to be a performer, charming, quick, useful. I became an expert at reading the air. I could tell by the weight of a man's footsteps on the porch whether I needed to be a brave son or the quiet shadow. But the most painful part of the lottery wasn't the man who left. It was the reflection that remained. I would look at Mama, her beautiful, tired face, and then I'd look at myself. I saw her in my cheekbones. Yes, but the rest was a blank map, a to-be-determined sign hanging over my heart. I wasn't just a child. I was a collection of maybes. Maybe I am a fisherman's son. Maybe I am a scholar's mistake. Maybe I am just a fragment of a story Mama refused to finish reading. Every time a father left, he took a piece of my borrowed identity with him, leaving me a little more hollow, a little more transparent, until I began to wonder if there was any man at all. There was Uncle Ben, who smelled of old books and smoked fish. He taught me how to draw the fish boats on the horizon, their sails billowing like giant butterflies. He'd ruffle my hair and call me Little Seeker. I remember thinking, yes, this is it. This is my father. He sees something in me. Then one morning, the smell of smoked fish was gone, the books neatly stacked, and a new man sat at our table. Then came Otieno, whose hands were always stained with grease from the market stalls. He had a booming laugh, that could shake the dust from the rafters, and he taught me to count the coins, to tell the good from the bad. He bought me my first proper pair of sandals, ones that didn't pinch. For a few months I walked taller, my chest puffed out. This man with his loud laughter and calloused hands, he was strong, he was steady. He is my father. Until, like a storm passing, he was gone, leaving only the memory of his laugh echoing in the quiet corners of the house. It wasn't just the men who came and went, it was the entire atmosphere. With Otieno, we spoke in whispers and read stories by lamplight. With Ben, there were boisterous meals and lively discussions. I learned to adapt, to be a child each man seemed to want, quiet and studious for one, energetic and practical for another. I was a chameleon. My true colors faded to match whatever background was presented. The hardest part wasn't just the goodbyes. It was the unspoken truth that hung in the air, like heavy humidity. All the other children in our compound, they had their fathers, strong, unwavering presence. They knew who they were, where they came from. Their families were complete, a solid wall against the world. Our house felt like it was built of shifting sand, each new arrival and departure eroding a little more of my sense of belonging. I'd watch my friends playing football, their fathers cheering from the sidelines, and a yearning would ache in my chest. It wasn't just a father I craved, it was the idea of one, a constant, a map, someone to say, "You are mine, you carry my blood. This is who you are." Sometimes at night, I'd lie awake and try to conjure him. What would he look like? What would his voice sound like? Would he be proud of me? I'd trace the lines to my own hand, search my reflection in the dark window, trying to find a definitive answer, a single, unchanging face that would finally tell me, "This is you, Kofi. This is where you truly belong." I was always looking, always searching, a silent question etched into my very being. The house was full of shadows, but the biggest shadow was the one that followed me, the shadow of the father I never knew, the constant variable in the equation of who I was. And as I grew, that yearning didn't fade. It deepened, becoming a quiet drumbeat beneath everything I did, the broken child forever searching for the missing piece to make himself whole.